was a half or a, partially manifestation of who God was. So what he did was he said there's a place by me that you can see me, but you will not see my face. He said, I will put you in the cleft of the rock. In the Old Testament was a foreshadow of the things to come. So what God was doing symbolically, he was showing himself to Moses then in the flesh, but he said you can only see my back part. You can't see my face, because if you see my face, I got to take you out of here. He said, but there's a place by me. You know who he was talking about? He was talking about Jesus Christ. He said there's a place by me. Jesus standing by him. He told Moses, I'm going to put you in the cleft of the rock. You will stand on a rock. The rock is Christ. He wasn't ready to reveal himself totally, but he allowed him to see him partially. So he put him in the cleft of the rock. Now this glory that Moses is asking to see is going to be revealed to the world in John 3:16. But this time, he's coming in full flesh. Come on now. The rock is Christ. And the place is the position and the authority that Christ had with God. Go ahead, Pastor Collins. I want you to see how Stephen saw this glory. He saw it. Go ahead, Pastor Collins.
Acts, the 7th chapter and the 54th verse. But he being full of the Holy Ghost, looked up steadfastly unto heaven, and saw the glory of God, and Jesus standing on the right hand of God.
So what he saw, Stephen saw what Moses saw. He saw it. He saw it because he was full of the Holy Ghost. And when he was being stoned to death, the heavens rolled back, and he looked up, and there was Jesus, standing in the place that God had already told Moses was by him. He said, I see him standing at the right hand of God. And he called it his glory. Go ahead, Pastor Collins.
John, the 3rd chapter, 16 through 17. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
So now, right here in John 3:16, now you have the manifestation of the glory. But see, this time, in the Exodus, you couldn't see God and live. But see, this time, you can see God in the flesh without the fear of death. You can see him now in the flesh without the fear of death. So here, in this chapter, when Jesus manifests on the scene, it is God revealing to the world his goodness that he told Moses that he will call to pass before him. And he said, I will proclaim the name of the Lord before you. So this is God's goodness that he spoke of in Exodus, fully manifested through Christ. Go ahead, Pastor Collins.
For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved.
Now go back to Exodus. Remember when Moses asked him to show him his glory, and the Lord said, I will show mercy on whom I will show mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. Here it is. possible because through Jesus Christ, we all can have